morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Let's start off with some quick sports. And Thursday night football, the Houston Texans beat the Bills 23-19. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, NV. Charlamagne, Jess, how y'all doing?
Peace, hey, Mimi Brown.
Good morning, y'all. All right, well, we start this morning on Capitol Hill where 6 Democratic lawmakers, all former military or intelligence officers, they are issuing a stark warning. So in a video posted on X, they are urging service members and intelligence officials to reject any unlawful orders that could come from the Trump administration. They say the threats to our Constitution are now coming from right here at home and are calling on the military and the intelligence community to stand firm and refuse illegal commands. Let's listen to some of that video.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army, or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans.
Don't give up the ship.
Now, they don't specify what illegal orders they're referring to, but under military law, troops are required to disobey unlawful orders and can even be prosecuted for following one. Now, this message comes at a tense moment. U.S. military leaders and even some of America's closest allies, they have questioned the legality of a series of Trump-ordered strikes on suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean. Now, those strikes, they have killed about 83 people since September. Now, Trump, he fired back almost immediately, blasting the lawmakers on Truth Social, calling them traitors, saying an example must be set, and reposting supporters calling for violence, including one post that said they should be hanged. Now, at the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is defending the president's actions, insisting those lawmakers should be held accountable. Let's listen to that exchange.
If the president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence, isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually,
every single
illegal.
Refuse an illegal order, which
but
is
they're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not. Every single order that is given to this United States military by this commander-in-chief and through this chain of command, through the Secretary of War, is lawful. And the courts have proven that. This administration has an unparalleled record at the Supreme Court because we are following the laws. We don't defy court orders. We do things by the books. And to suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do, and they should be held accountable, and that's what the president wants to see.
Yeah, that video had Republicans tripping yesterday. I was flipping back and forth between news networks, because I love hearing how everyone is addressing a single topic. And on Fox, the problem they had was they wanted to know what was in a legal order, like you just said, Mimi. And then you had other Republicans lying, saying Dems told people not to follow lawful orders. No, they said illegal. But I do think we do need to know what illegal is.
Yeah, they didn't specify, but several Democratic lawmakers say that they've received threats since the president posted that. And Democratic leaders confirmed they're now working with Capitol Police to increase protection for the members that were targeted. So a lot of different reactions and viewpoints there for sure, Charlamagne.
And what's crazy is people, what Trump did is clearly wrong, right? But is it criminal because of the presidential immunity that he's been granted from the Supreme Court? Like, I don't know.
Yep. It would be immunity,
it should
right?
be. I feel like it should be criminal, but because of what he's been granted, is it?
He has a broad range of things he can say and do because of what the Supreme Court granted him. So that's a very, intriguing question to be continued.
All right.
We have time for one more, Envy?
No.
No.
Next hour.
All right, next hour. Well, coming up at 7, really quickly, if you're headed to the airport with holiday food, TSA just dropped its annual reminder of what will get you through security and what will get you stopped. So we'll talk about travel's do and don'ts coming up the next hour.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. Now, on Thursday Night Football, the Texans beat the Buffalo Bills 23-19. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MV, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing this morning?
Peace,
Hey,
Mimi.
girl. Good morning. Okay, so we start this hour in New York City where Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, he is headed to the White House this morning for a meeting with President Trump. At a press conference yesterday, he said the conversation will focus on an issue that both men campaigned on, making life more affordable for New Yorkers. Let's listen to that.
I know that for tens of thousands of New Yorkers, this meeting is between two very different candidates who they voted for the same reason. They wanted a leader who would take on the cost of living crisis that makes it impossible for working people to afford living in this city. My team reached out to the White House to set up this meeting because I will work with anyone to make life more affordable for the more than 8.5 million people who call this city home. I have many disagreements with the president. I believe that we should be relentless and pursue all avenues and all meetings that could make our city affordable for every single New Yorker. I intend to make it clear to President Trump that I will work with him on any agenda that benefits New Yorkers. If an agenda hurts New Yorkers, I will also be the first to say so.
Anyone who thought Zohran wasn't going to attempt to work with President Trump, then they don't understand politics. But it's also nuts that Zohran Mamdani thinks that he can work with President Trump. I don't know why Democrats continue to make this mistake in regards to Republicans. I get that you're supposed to do this, but this isn't the Republican Party that your grandparents grew up on.
Trump
okay?
is crazy. Trump be like, yeah, that communist wants to come sit with me. I don't know if I'm like, he be going crazy.
But this goes back to the same thing I was saying with the government shutdown. It's just like, yo, you really going to try to hold out knowing that these people are not going to negotiate with you, knowing that they're not going to work with you in good faith in any way, shape, or form? For Zohran to even talk like he believes Donald Trump is going to work with him in good faith is insanity. It's just insane. But whatever, it's politics as usual. Zohran Mamdani is a politician, okay? He's not your savior. He's a politician. And, you know, hopefully he gets some stuff done.
Well, to your point, Envy, about the word communist, the White House says that this meeting is proof that the president will sit down with anyone. Caroline Levitt, she had some choice words about this meeting. Let's listen to a little bit of that.
It speaks volumes that we have a communist coming to the White House because that's who the Democrat Party elected as the mayor of the largest city in the country. I think it's very telling, but I also think it speaks to the fact that President Trump is willing to meet with anyone and talk to anyone and to try to do what's right on behalf of the American people, whether they live in blue states or red states.
Listen how they talking about him, calling him communist, calling him a communist. But Zohran is like, I will work on the president with any agenda. Blah. Like, why do they still have faith in these people? If I was advising Zohran, I would say I think it's pointless for you to meet with President Trump at this time. He's going to use you for photo ops, and he just wants you to kiss the ring. You have a groundswell of grassroots supporters that'll be extremely disappointed if you meet with him, and there's absolutely nothing to gain from such a move right now.
Well, and to that, Charlamagne, he is expected to push for key projects like that $16 million Gateway Tunnel and the 2nd Avenue subway. He's going to argue that New York's economy is crucial to the country as a whole. But also, to your point, Trump has also threatened to deport him, even though he is a United States citizen, right? Wow. And he's also said that he will cut federal funding if he won. So, we'll see.
So that's why politicians can't be doing all the tough talk, because you still got to go through the White House. I don't get it, man. It's just like Democrats learned nothing during the government shutdown. The one thing that they should have learned is you don't and can't negotiate with this administration. You only end up hurting yourself and your constituents. Because I saw people mad that Zohran is going to meet with the president today, but I'm like, clearly y'all don't understand politics then. Because this is just politics as usual. He has no choice.
Yeah. Yeah, so we expect to see more headlines coming from that meeting later on today. And meanwhile, Elon Musk, he is saying that we may be headed toward a world where working, needing a job, or even money itself may not matter. Speaking at the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum, Musk said that artificial intelligence is getting more advanced, and he believes work will eventually become optional. So he is imagining a future where AI and robots, they do almost every job that humans do now. So people wouldn't work to pay their bills. Your basic needs would be produced so cheaply and automatically that a paycheck wouldn't be necessary. You'd only work if you wanted to, like a hobby. Let's listen to some of what he had to say.
My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So We'll take that.
They collaborate.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional.
And you got to work for every single thing that you need, like healthcare, your light bill. I read a great book over the summer called Techno-Feudalism, What Killed Capitalism. I think everybody should read it or listen to it if you can, but that's the society it looks like we're headed towards, techno-feudalism.
That's interesting. Well, for a different take, on stage with him was the CEO of Nivea. He took a much more grounded view. He agreed that AI, it will change jobs. It will change how students learn, how people work, but he doesn't think that it will mean mass job loss or the end of money anytime soon. Experts say, of course, all of this is theoretical. AI hasn't shown up in any major way like how he's saying right now, but we will see, because there's going to be times where the economic shift will happen, but it will take time. So we'll continue to watch that. And this weekend is expected to be one of the biggest Thanksgiving travel weekends of the year. Nearly 30 million people are expected to fly. So if you are bringing food through TSA, I didn't know this was a thing, but people are bringing food through TSA, prompting TSA to put out its annual holiday guidance to help you get through security a little faster. So here are a few Thanksgiving do's and don'ts. If you're traveling, they're saying that you can bring your pie. So if whatever pie you like, pumpkin, sweet potato pie, they're solid. So you can bring those on. Same for like mac and cheese, stuffing, and things like that. But don't bring your gravy through security because it counts as a liquid. So does cranberry sauce, both the gelled kind and the canned kind. They said that you can bring frozen items because it's rock solid. Frozen foods can go through security, but they must be totally frozen. If they're melting, TSA will treat them like a liquid. And they said that don't fight TSA about what counts as a liquid. Their rule is simple. If you can spill it, spread it, spray it, pump it, or pour it, it needs to go in your checked bag. They said to be smart about traveling with food. They said that messy bags and loose containers, they do slow down the line. Do show up early because Thanksgiving is one of their busiest travel days. They're expecting record-breaking travel volumes between now and Sunday. So apparently this is an annual list that they do put out because people tend to bring so many different items through the TSA security line that it backs it up. I didn't know that people traveled with pre-made food, but did you guys know this? Did you hear this before?
Nah, I ain't never heard about the pre-made food.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds disgusting.
I seen people travel with like the raw stuff. One time when I was in South Carolina, and this was 2020, maybe 2019, 2020, and I was down there with Madam Vice President Kamala Harris because she had unveiled her mental health plan, and she had got some collard greens from South Carolina, and she flew back. She flew to the airport with them. And she had a whole trunk full of collard greens, like bushels of collard greens. Jeez. And she asked me, would she look crazy walking through the airport with these?
What'd you tell her?
No, I might care.
No, if you black, you all right.
Yeah. You be good.
Yeah, I wouldn't want cooked food that was traveling from state to state. That's just disgusting. Going through the X-ray machines.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Then they got to test it and all that. They don't change their gloves real bad.
And if you hear that early, if you get near that early, you can get to my house and cook it.
Right.
But that's the only thing I would say. That's why I brought up that story, because she was going back to where California. So if you're in the South, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get you some fresh greens. And you ain't got no fresh greens in California. So it's like stuff like that makes sense. Yeah. But don't travel with nothing that we can get right here now. You know what I'm saying? Right. If I can go right up the street to the grocery store to get it, we get it when you get here. You don't got to do all that.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Those are your travel do's and don'ts. So if you're headed to the airport, save yourself some time and listen to some of those. And that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more stories, follow the Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app or visit BINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi.
Thanks, Mimi.
Peace, Mimi.
Now, when we come back, Tank and Jay Valentine will be joining us, of course, the host of the R&B Money podcast. And we're going to talk to them next, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hold up. Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?